Hey, it's me. I'm back. Did you miss me? Did you? I know half of you are like, what? I didn't even know you were gone. Yeah, I didn't post last week because I was taking a week off for the holidays, but I'm back now and it is the first video of 2021. We feel good about that? Good. Let's paint on some shoes because, where did this come from? I just feel like this is a good way to kind of kick off the new year. You guys seem to really enjoy every time I do this. Who don't like making custom shoes? I don't know. My hair is ridiculously long. What was I saying? The only problem is I don't have any idea for how to paint these shoes. I don't know what to do. But once we figure that out, it should be nice and easy going. Let's paint on the shoes, all right? So here's my pair of plain white Vans. This is pretty much the only type of shoe that I ever paint on because they're just so perfect for customizing. Look at all that white space. Do you hear that? It's the shoes screaming for some color. Also, since there are no laces, we get maximum amount of space to work with, which means we have more options, which means I'm not gonna know which one to choose. That's okay. I have some time to figure it out because I still need to tape them up. I've got my vinyl tape here, and I'm just gonna carefully work that around the edge of the shoe. Can't say I really enjoy that step. It's the worst part of painting on shoes, in my opinion. It's really boring, and I dread it every time. But I think that it ends up saving time in the long run because once you get your sole protected, you should always protect your sole. You can work much faster with the paintbrush. Plus, it gives us a nice little reveal at the end. We like that little added drama. Also want to tape up the elastic area. Well, I don't want to, but I must. We don't want paint all up in our stretchy zone. What? Okay. And we've got one shoe done and prepped. On to the other one. The second time always goes by so much faster. Alrighty, both shoes ready to be painted. That means I gotta come up with my design idea. Okay, well, first let's get out the paint. That'll buy me another couple seconds of valuable panicking time. I'm using Angelus leather paint. I have acquired quite a healthy collection of it, but I usually use the paint from here, which is where I store all my custom colors that I've mixed myself. This palette keeps them all nice and fresh in here, more or less. No one's perfect. And now, no more excuses. It's time to get started. Oh gosh, ow. Just as soon as I get this bottle open. So let's watch me in a moment of weakness. I'm about to pop a vessel here. That is one bad thing about this paint. The bottles tend to become painted shut, which is not so fun to deal with. I ended up having to resort to slicing the bottle in half just to get the paint out. And then I discovered this bottle is basically empty. Really? Let me just clean the blood off my weapon, and I guess I'll try to make use of this last little bit of paint. All that effort for literally 3 drops of paint. Okay, so I grabbed another bottle. Oh my gosh. Luckily, this time didn't result in anyone getting decapitated. So anyway, my whole goal here is just to freshen up this light purple and maybe tweak the color slightly. And now we can get to the painting. I'm dipping into that purple paint. Ooh, here we go. The first stroke. What a beautiful one. 8 out of 10, except for that little chunk. Chunk's always ruining things. I'm painting the whole shoe with this light purple. This is gonna be my background color, which means, yes, at this point I have settled on my idea for this pair of shoes. So far, I've done, let's see, 2 character themed and 1 kind of abstract type thing. So I wanted to do something different for this pair. Not that it's super out of the box crazy. It's actually a very typical kind of design for me, but just slightly different than what I've done on any other pair of shoes specifically. So once the purple was dry, this mysterious stain shows up, skid mark of some sort. Can we ignore that? No, we cannot. Let me just get rid of that. Same way you get rid of food stains on the placemats, you just flip it over. So here I go sketching my design. Can you tell what it is? No. Yes, it's dessert. If I'm gonna have a collection of custom shoes, and that seems like what's going on here, I think that it's only right that I dedicate at least one shoe to desserts. Doesn't the Shelly and Eustace pair count as dessert themed? No. It's not the same thing. So I've drawn an ice cream cone, a donut, and a cake roll, and they're nice and snuggled together here. I wanted to include more desserts. Where's the popsicle? Where's the cupcake? Could have been a lollipop or a cookie, maybe a brownie, snow cone, macaron, a maca cake. Where is the ice s'more nut? But I decided we're gonna go for quality over quantity. I wanted to be able to paint them nice and large and give them some good details on there. I mean, I don't have the tiniest little Cinderella feet, but I am pretty limited on space here. So I had to just choose 3. Life is hard. And I stuck with desserts that I thought would get along with each other. If you were to get the snow cone and the ice cream cone right next to each other, there's bound to be some drama. The snow cone is a cheap knockoff of the ice cream cone. There's a lot of tension in that relationship, and I'm concerned about that. I'm always very concerned about very legitimate things. I'm a little concerned about my earring holes. And just like that, we are ready to add in some details here. And this is, yeah, okay. This is where it gets fun. I love adding all the little details. It's so fun. I wanted to add some very clean, kind of cartoony shadows to give it some dimension. I decided I wanted to forego the outlining. I just want to keep it kind of soft, I guess, and I just wasn't feeling like a harsh outline was gonna do us any good here. And I also added a little texture on the kind of bready, cakey, coney, creamy parts.
Oh my gosh, it's looking so nice.
Finally, I'm adding some sprinkles. Few more details here and there, and boom, the main painting is done. But I do want to add a few more touches here to make it feel completely finished. So I decided to paint the trim area with a darker purple, go with that kind of two-tone look. And here's where I realized this is a slightly different style shoe than the ones that I've used in the past. There's a big kind of like Y-shaped area on the back.
Surprise!
So I am painting that as well. Not sure I'm a huge fan of this style. I think I like the other version a bit more, but that's fine. It's fine. So this is what we've got now. Definitely could have been finished at this point, but I was having a hard time dealing with the little bit of empty space that was remaining. So I did what every overdoer does, and I filled it up with random worthless nonsense. I think the stars are kind of cute, but they are very unnecessary, and I go back and forth about whether they really helped the design, but it's kind of too late now. Technically, I could have painted back over them, but this paint is kind of thick, so you would have been able to see the shape of them underneath, and that almost would have been worse. It would have been like pimples that are like under the surface. You can see the texture. So the stars are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Let's just say that we like them. Okay, everyone? Okay, we like them. And if you can't say that,
get out.
No. You're entitled to your own opinion, of course, as long as you agree with me. So one shoe mostly done. I'll come back to this in a little bit, but for right now, I want to get going on the other shoe.
You ready for this, little buddy?
So here we go, bringing out the paint again. This time, I'm gonna freshen up the light blue with a bit of blue and a bit or a lot. Whoa, a ton of white paint. Very liberal on that. Mix all of that together and wonderful. We've got a nice gentle blue. And I'm going with blue as the background color for this shoe. I just can't bring myself to do the same design on both shoes because that would bore me. So I'm going with a design that complements the other shoe but still has its own kind of unique thing going on because that's much more interesting for me to paint and for you to watch, hopefully. Are you bored yet, sweetie? So what am I drawing on this shoe?
More desserts?
No. What comes after dessert? Dinner, of course. So, on this shoe, I'm painting a group of 3 savory foods in a kind of similar composition as the dessert shoe. So let's get painting that. I actually had many ideas for different designs I could do on pairs of shoes. Oh, ew. I thought about doing like a night and day set of shoes or a landscape that continues across the pair or a PB&J themed pair, fruit themed pair. But every idea I had, it seemed like it just wouldn't have been enough substance for an entire video. So maybe I need to do a video where I do multiple pairs and go with more simplistic designs for each pair. I'm gonna have so many shoes. Also, I have a confession. I have never worn any of my painted shoes out and about. I wore the ones that were painted as part of my custom outfit outside in the backyard, and they got a little dirty. That made me feel very uncomfortable and a little bit traumatized. I spend so much time on these shoes, I just want to save them in perfect, pristine condition forever. Is that so unreasonable? Maybe if I do some simpler designs that don't take me as long, I'll feel less worried about them getting messed up, and then I will actually wear them out. Next time I'm doing multiple pairs, simpler designs. Be here. I'm gonna have so many shoes. Here I go with the second coat. As you can see, I've chosen a burger, slice of pizza, and an egg. The egg is kind of random, I think. I don't know if it completely goes with the other two, but I thought that it would work well to create a very similar composition to the dessert shoe, since the dessert shoe has a donut with the hole positioned in the same place as the yolk, so it's kind of like a yin-yang type of balance. I also could have done an avocado there, and the seed could have been the circular part of the composition. Am I overthinking this? Either way, I got the flat colors built up, and now is the fun time, adding all the little details that really bring this to life. Is there anything more fun than painting food? I don't think so. And I was very happy because these were turning out really nice. I really like the style of the shadows and the whole lineless look. Now for painting on the trim. Of course, this time I'm going for a darker version of blue to contrast with the light blue background. And finally, we're gonna do the stars. Still not completely sold on these, especially with the way I was very awkwardly spacing them on this shoe. What are you doing? I don't know. But I have to add them because otherwise we're going to be very terribly mismatched. So, I guess it's good. It does kind of add some interest to the back of the shoe instead of leaving that completely plain. I really need to convince myself that I like them. And here is the magical moment where the shoes come together. Meet your soulmate. Soulmate. Is that a joke? And then the very satisfying tape removal process. Beautiful. Now, like always, there are a few places along the edge that need some touching up, so take care of that. And once everything looks nice and neat, it's time for the clear coat. Just pouring some of that into a nice crusty paint palette and going ahead and applying that over the entire shoe. Oh, you can have some too, of course. And there they are, completely finished. I think these turned out super cute. I really love the style of the painting. I love the idea of the savory food on one foot and desserts on the other foot. They're so different, but I think that they're still balanced and they work together. Right now, in this moment, I'm even kind of liking the stars. They're not so bad. Will this be the first and last time that I wear these shoes? I hope not. Hopefully, I will have the courage to put these on again. Either way, I am very pleased with the final results, and I thoroughly enjoyed painting these. I hope you guys like them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!